13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Sidelines Plus back for another week. I'm Jacob Seus. She's Maddie Monroe. As you can tell, our elder statesman, Matt Guard, he is not here. Maddie, he wrote in the script that he so kindly wrote for us that he is on assignment this week. I don't know if that's the case.
Assignment.
That's what he's doing.
This is his assignment.
Matt's a birder. I think that's the correct term if you guys don't know.
Sure.
And the birds they're migrating this week?
Yes, it's a big deal, I think, in the birding community.
That's a killdeer, he wrote on Facebook. So Matt is not on assignment. Matt is out living his best life, taking pictures of birdies with his baby daughter. So that's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun. So we're here to carry the load. So what's going on this week? Well, plenty's going on. We got the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Jacks looking for a chance at their first Clark Cup in franchise history. We've got multiple high school spring sport matchups, including Unity Christian taking on Spring Lake in boys baseball. And lastly, we've got Hudsonville native JT Sokolov back out on the diamond in East Lansing. But Maddie, tonight we're going to start with the Muskegon Lumberjacks. Like I just said, hoping to win that first Clark Cup in franchise history. Things will get going on Friday night. The Jacks clinched a USHL Eastern Conference Championship last Tuesday with a 3-1 win over Dubuque. With the win, Muskegon swept the series and they earned their first trip to the Clark Cup final since 2015. Finals, it's going to be a best-of-5 series against the Waterloo Blackhawks. Starts Friday, May 9th on the road. Game 2, Saturday night the 10th. The Jacks will then return to Trinity Health Arena for games 3 and 4 on May 16th and 17th. If necessary, game 5, May 20th, back to Waterloo. Here's what the Jacks had to say at their Clark Cup Finals Media Day.
We all understand and appreciate the significance of this opportunity, and we just want to make the most of it, make everybody proud. And but I think the group inside the locker room and everybody understands that not only is it a tremendous accomplishment to be here, but we want to be the first team ever to bring a championship, and we got a long road ahead of us. But we're very confident in the group that we have.
It's just, I think our group's gonna take a lot of pride in being one of the last 2 teams standing, and it's not very often that you get a chance to bring a championship back to wherever you're playing, and it's taken me 3 years to get here, and I'm just stoked to have the opportunity to walk with these guys forever.
It's been a fun year so far. It's been a lot of ups and downs. We didn't get the bye we were looking for, but I felt like that only made us want to make a deeper run in the playoffs more and come together even closer and closer as a team. And it's been a lot of fun so far, and we're looking forward to it.
It's really cool to see where this organization's gone the last 2-3 years. It's made great strides, and now we're here, and we want to win. But yeah, great group of guys. It's been really fun, and now we just got to finish the job.
I mean, how awesome. 3 wins away from a championship, and this is a team that maybe didn't play as well as they wanted to during the regular season, but it's always the team that gets hot at the right time. They're 7-1 in these playoffs. They haven't lost more than 1 game in a series yet. Now 3 wins away from a championship.
Yeah, and Jacob, you've been to a lot of these games. How have you seen the excitement, ramp up towards this end of the year?
With every win that goes on, you feel, the energy get a little bit more, and more fans show up. They can sense that they're close to making history here. It's crazy that, they played Dubuque in the last round, and now Waterloo.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize they played hockey in Iowa. And now they're going to go back to Iowa for the 2nd series in a row. I've never been to Iowa. I don't know if I care to go. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But now Lumberjacks.
This could be your chance.
Yeah, they're going to make their 2nd straight trip to Iowa, and hopefully they can do what they did last time, grab a couple wins there.
Sure thing. Yeah, but with the Lumberjacks 3 wins away from a championship, the Griffins season is hanging on by a thread. Grand Rapids dropped both games at home to the Stars to begin the Central Division semifinals. The Griffins trailed 4-0 in both games, with Sebastian Casa and Jack Campbell splitting the 2 games in net. Grand Rapids was outscored 8-2 and didn't get back on the board in the series until late in the 2nd period of Game 2. Now the Griffins face a gigantic uphill battle. To win the series, the team will have to win 3 straight games, all of them on the road, starting Friday night in Game 3 in Texas. But shifting gears to the latest in high school sports, highlights for some of the most notable baseball and soccer matchups coming up after the break.
13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Welcome back into Sidelines Plus, Maddie. The weather finally starting to get a little nicer, so we can go out and maybe shoot a bit more baseball, softball, soccer. We're approaching state playoffs coming up pretty soon.
We are, yeah. I know we've had a lot of college, a lot of other teams, but now we're finally getting to some high school sports. It's pretty great. Yeah,
so we have some high school sports for you. We're going to start at Unity Christian Baseball hosting Red Hot Spring Lake. We're going to go no score, top of the fifth. Owen Smize puts one into left field. He reaches base with the hit for the Lakers later in the inning. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Alex Botka. He takes off. The throw goes into center field. Jace Sanderlin scores the first run of the game, and they weren't done in the inning. Later on, it's Alex Strauss at the plate. He gets a base knock himself. That scores Botka 2-0 Spring Lake. And, well, that's how this one would end. The Lakers sweep the series and are now 16-1 on the season. Staying on the diamond, it was then a rivalry game between West Catholic and Grand Rapids Catholic Central. We go right off the bat. First inning, West with a 1-0 lead. Jack Holt, get out of here, hits a bomb that makes it 3-zip. Holt 2 for 3, 3 runs, 3 ribbies on the afternoon. Then how about a web gem later on in this one? Ethan Gottlieb rockets one toward the mound. Dean Armick makes the catch and has the presence of mind to double up the runner at first. Catholic Central comes back to win 6-5. West would take the second game of the doubleheader 10-1.
Yeah, and then on to my favorite sport, to the pitch, where Lowell was riding a 6-game winning streak coming into their matchup against Forest Hills Eastern. Callie Reuter had an insane afternoon in the net for the Red Arrows. This save in the second half was just one of many she had of the night, and that keeps them scoreless. But the Hawks would not stay off the board. In the 16th minute, Ellie Hickrock takes the corner kick, and she puts it right on target for Emmy Carpenter. The captain scores, and that's all they needed. Eastern hands Lowell just their second loss of the season, 1-0. And now to college football. Forest Hill Central graduate Ty Hudkins is out of the transfer portal and on his way to Iowa City. The defensive back announced on social media this week that transferring from Purdue to Iowa. The former 3-star recruit spent his freshman season with the Boilermakers, where he appeared in all 12 games, mostly on special teams. Hudkins joins Iowa defense that allowed just 17.8 points per game this past season.
Maddie, that's exciting. I mean, going from one Big Ten team, you enter the transfer portal. Maybe you're not sure if you could stay in the conference or stay in the Power Four. Going to Iowa, I mean, that's a better team than Purdue was last season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've talked about him a lot in the past couple of sideline shows, so it's exciting to see him, you know, finally find his spot.
Yeah, and hopefully get some much-deserved playing time next season. You know, he's going to get to live out his childhood dream. But speaking of that, it's not something everybody gets to experience. But for one Hudsonville native, he's doing just that. Hear about the recent addition to the Michigan State Diamond after the break.
13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
Now on to the Diamond with 2 Big Ten series left in the regular season. It's been a so-so season for Michigan State so far, but one of the team's biggest surprises this year has been the production from Hudsonville native JT Sokolov.
Hudsonville's JT Sokolov has bled green and white his entire life.
Oh, I absolutely love this place. It's been a dream of mine to just play at Michigan State.
But the road from fan
I have so many pictures of myself like in Michigan State stuff when I was little
to student athlete certainly wasn't a straight path.
But, I mean, I got here, so it's cool.
A trip from Hudsonville to East Lansing is only about an hour and a half. But it's a bit longer when you take a 3-year stop at Illinois State before entering the transfer portal.
I just wanted
$13 on your sidelines. Sponsored by Rand Insurance Group. A better path forward.
And now back on the Diamond with a 2 Big Ten series left in the regular season. It's been a so-so start for Michigan State, but one of the team's biggest surprises this year has been the production from Hudsonville native JT Sokolov.
Hudsonville's JT Sokolov has bled green and white his entire life.
Oh, I absolutely love this place. It's been a dream of mine to just play at Michigan State.
But the road from fan
I have so many pictures of myself like in Michigan State stuff when I was little
to student athlete certainly wasn't a straight path.
But, I mean, I got here, so it's cool.
A trip from Hudsonville to East Lansing is only about an hour and a half. But it's a bit longer when you take a 3-year stop at Illinois State before entering the transfer portal.
I just wanted another opportunity to go play somewhere I thought would get to play competitive baseball.
During Sokolov's first recruitment, Michigan State's interest was...
A little bit, but, I mean, not as much as I probably would have liked.
But this time around...
Being from Hudsonville, I mean, we were familiar with him and had seen him play in high school and, you know, kind of knew what kind of a player he was.
The offer came quick. Head coach Jake Boss giving Sokolov the pathway back to his roots.
And I speak from experience. I mean, I grew up here in East Lansing. I was always a big Michigan State fan, and you know, so I know what it means to put that uniform on, and I think it was a dream, you know, for a lot of our guys, and I would think JT included.
Sokolov has made the offer worth their while, putting up a career high in batting average, capped off by a walk-off home run against Ohio State. A career coming full circle.
It definitely doesn't get much cooler than that. Just winning with the guys is just the best thing.
The regular season is quickly winding down. Sokolov's days in the green and white are numbered.
I wasn't really thinking about that for a long time, but these last couple of weeks it started to hit me.
But the kid that grew up in Hudsonville in those Spartan colors will always be grateful that his path ended right where it began.
I've been able to bring like my little brother who's a diehard. Like that dude wants to be Sparty. So like just him around and like my family around, it's been everything I wanted.
To have, you know, a dream when you're a kid to play baseball at Michigan State and see it come true, but you know, that he had to take a different path and go to Illinois State. Michigan State didn't really recruit him out of high school, but to end his career there, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Right, and you know, we always love to see local kids go to Big Ten schools, but especially Michigan State,
Yes.
I'm a little biased there as a Spartan grad. We love to see him go there, and it's so cool that, you know, he's getting to fulfill his childhood dream.
Yeah, and JT, I mean, he was a sideline star. He played football at Hudsonville, just like you'll remember from this past year, Jack Wills, long snapper, tight end for Hudsonville. He's going to Michigan State now as well. So, you know, a lot of people in our area, you know, especially athletes, they grow up going to East Lansing.
Absolutely.
It's only an hour away. They get to go to the football games, the baseball games, and it's only natural that they would want to play there one day.
You get to go to the games growing up, and then now getting to be there even as a student is great, but as an athlete, it's just a totally different experience.
Yeah, and you know, it's cool for us getting to cover these athletes and, you know, see their progression from, you know, early high school, you know, maybe when they're a freshman to, you know, a senior in high school, and then you know, going to make their dreams come true.
Yeah, it's great.
Very cool. So congrats to JT, off to, you know, finishing his career at Michigan State. You know, we wish him the best, but for us, you know, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Sideline Plus. We'll see you next week as the Griffins look to stay alive in the playoffs. The Lumberjacks fight for a Clark Cup, and also tons of high school to get to next week as well. But she's Maddie Monroe. I'm Jacob Seus. Until then, we'll see you next time.